If you come over the top, slice the golf ball, hit big pulls, big banana slices, this could be the most important video that you will watch on this topic. I'm going to show you step by step how I took one of my recent developmental program students from a big over-the-topper to a drawer of the golf ball. And I know a lot of you out there deal with very similar issues, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did this, the process, and I want to help you become a better ball striker. So stick around, let's head to the lesson tee, and let's get to work. Now, I know a lot of you out there deal with coming over the top in the golf swing, but do you really know where it is coming from in your swing? And just like I say in all of my videos, obviously everybody is different and there are different root causes for certain things. And there are definitely different root causes for an over the top, for slicing, for pulling. That is different than what I'm going to talk about today, but I see it every single week in my coaching, players that do exactly what Jack was doing. And I'm going to show you exactly step by step how I got him to start to deliver the club more from the inside and hit a draw and increase his distance. I mean, honestly, he started hitting his 7-iron almost 30 yards further pretty quickly as well. Now, it is a work in progress. Just like everything, there are no magic pills. You have to work at this. But as long as I can get you on the right track, we're going to improve, and that's my objective on this channel. My name is Valentine. I'm a 25-year PGA teaching professional. I've given well over 30,000 lessons in person and remotely over the past quarter century. So if you do like this type of content, consider subscribing, do all that good stuff. Come along for this journey. I'd love to help you out and be your virtual coach, or if you're in the area, an in-person coach as well. So I see it every week from you guys in the comments. I come over the top. Can you please help me? What do I do? Make a video on that. I get that. Like I said, I see it all of the time. Let me know below in the comments. Do you come over the top? Do you slice the golf ball? Do you pull the golf ball? Or if you don't, what is the number one thing that you struggle with? I'm going to take a lot of feedback from you guys out there and produce videos to help you based on the needs that you guys have as well. But let's get the guys and gals that are coming over the top a little bit better, and I'll show you exactly what I did with Jack here. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you the comparison, the before and after, and it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to see where Jack goes in this game. So I'm going to use the process that I used with Jack to get him to understand where his over the top was coming from, because I know a lot of you out there deal with exactly the same thing. So he came to me with very good structure. And what I mean by that is he had a good setup. He had a very neutral grip. So, and I'm going to address that a little bit coming up here, but he had a very neutral grip. His grip was not strong, so as a righty, he's a righty. The hands were not turned too much to the right on the club. He did not have a weak grip, which would be more of on the left side of the grip. I'm not going to get too deep into this right now, but he had more of a neutral grip. When you have a neutral grip, effectively, you can hinge the club straight up and down if you put the club out in front of you. If you have a strong grip, it is going to be more challenging because of where the wrist joints are. If you have a weak grip, it is going to be more challenging. I try to get majority of players into a neutral grip. Yes, everybody's body's a little bit different. Everybody's arm hang is a little bit different. So we do have to have proper matchups, but in general, getting players into a more neutral grip can get them to do what we need to do. Before you comment, I understand there are some players that play better with a strong grip or play better with a weak grip. I get that 100%, and that's my job as a coach to figure that out on an individual basis with each player to get those matchups properly. But Jack's case, very neutral grip, great, love that. He would get into his setup, awesome. Good balance, good toe to heel balance at address, good posture. As you can see, I'll pop his setup on the screen right now. Where things went wrong with him and that go wrong with a lot of players. And I'm not saying everybody out there has a great setup. You have to work on your setup. I've done a lot of videos in the past on setup, so check out my playlist. I'll put it down below in the description. Make sure you watch those. Make sure all of these pieces are set as well. I don't want to just glance over them, but Jack was in a good spot. So once he got into his good setup, his first move off of the golf ball was the catalyst to him coming over the top. So essentially what he was doing was rolling the club face open in the backswing. Now I know a lot of you know that you do that. And if you don't know that you do that, I encourage you, film yourself. Check on this. Put a camera exactly where my camera is, which is back here, so you're getting a down the line view. Put the camera right on the hand path and take a look and see where that club goes off of the golf ball. If you're noticing that the club face is starting to rotate early, that the face of the club is pointing to the sky, or the toe of the club is pointing up or back behind you, that is a dynamic open club face at that point in time in the golf swing. And it's important to say at that point in time in the golf swing, because you can actually have a good club face at this point in time in the backswing, and then it opens up in the next piece. And that's what he struggled a little bit with, and I'll talk about that coming up here. So Jack rolled the club face open, the club got behind him, and then as he got to the top, the club got long and across the line. Now, why does this happen? The right arm starts to go up, which puts the club out here. I know a lot of you struggle with a trail arm that goes up in the backswing. Well, think of it this way. Think about how that trail arm works. If I am rotating the face open, it is also rotating my trail arm. And I want you to do this at home. Get into a setup, rotate that trail arm. Now try to go up with it. It's really hard because of the way the shoulder rotates in, the bicep, the tricep, everything rotates in. So it puts you in a position where you're going to do more of this. And what is that going to do to the top of the swing? You're going to get a flying elbow. The club is going to go long. It's going to go across the line. And you'll see that in the video of Jack right now. So all of that really started with his understanding of how do we take the club back? Because he definitely complained of feeling like the right arm flew, he got too long in the swing. Now, when you get right arm flying too long in the swing, you have to correct this in the downswing. You know what you do? You go out here. That's how you pull the club back from here. Plus, the club face is open. We have to figure out a way to close the club face subconsciously when we're swinging. And the only way to close that club face, because it is open, is to go outside. Now, I'm going to reverse back just a little bit. So once he got into that open position back here, and he got long, that club, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can see it. Boom. See how the club head is pointing straight down at that point? That is another image of an open club face dynamically in your swing. So if you're noticing when you're filming yourself, that club face is pointing down, that is a dynamically open club face. Now, there are some players that can play with an open club face and get it back to neutral at impact. Now, I will say, players like you, if you are one of those players, definitely have a heavier rate of rotation coming into the golf ball because you have to get that open face more neutral. There's a lot of timing involved in that. You may have a great day where you hit it great, and then a day where you're left and right because your timing is a little bit off. So I would still say, I want you to get into a more neutral dynamic club face position. If you are open and you are half decent, again, that's subject to how much time you have to actually work on this stuff. Now that we have that established, we have open club face on the way back, which causes this, which causes the elbow to lift, which causes the long position, which causes the dynamic continuation of the dynamic club face position. The body has to correct it by going out. He goes out on his toes. You go out on your toes when this happens. You stand up, early extension, pull the club in. Depending on where the club face is at impact, you're either gonna get pulls or you're gonna get high, short misses to the right. Comment below if that sounds familiar. I see it all of the time. So how did we fix Jack's swing? How did we get him going in the right direction? I'll put it that way. So first things first, again, I do have to say, he had a good neutral grip. Posture is great, dynamic balance is great. Some of these issues can start from the address position as well. You know, if you have too weak of a grip, if your right hand comes on top, that's gonna almost get you in a position where you're gonna coil the club face open. So all of these good setup pieces have to be there, and I'm not gonna stop stressing that. I will always stress that to everybody out there. So when I work on the club face positions with students, I do it in 2 steps. Step 1 is the halfway back position. Step 2 is the movement from there to the top. I will also measure my students with hack motion. Now, hack motion is a tool that you put on your wrist and it measures your wrist angles dynamically in the swing. I set baselines with it, and then I give them a challenge to hit certain numbers. And this is something that I encourage a lot of my students to actually get and work on at home, that struggle with their face angles. Because everybody is different. Everybody's wrist joint angles are different. Their flexion, their extension, their radial, and their ulnar deviation is different dynamically in the swing. But as I always say, what you can measure, you can get better. And with Jack, I don't have that data here. And not that that really matters, because it's a very individual data point. But I would encourage you to at least check out hack motion if you are struggling with face angle positions in the golf swing. And it does a whole bunch of other things. And I'll put some information down below. I'm also going to be doing some videos coming up on hack motion and how it can help you improve your game. And as I said, I break down this club face position into 2 pieces. Step 1, step 2. So step 1 is from address position to halfway back. And what I'm looking for at this point is a club face that is basically matching my spine angle at this point, or roughly you can think of it as almost 45 degrees relative to the ground. What you're going to feel though is when you have that neutral grip, you are going to feel like you are rotating in this direction as you go back. So you're going to feel like your trail hand is working more palm down as you go back, as opposed to if you were opening the club face, you are going more palm up. So we are working palm down, which is going to get that club face to work down. So that's step 1. So I had him do that for about 10 minutes. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but that is something you can work on at home. Working on getting palm down, club face, you can see it from this angle, you know exactly where it is. Now, the second step is a little bit more challenging because you can't see it at the top. So this is where I do encourage you to film yourself. Make sure that you are doing it correctly. It is going to feel very different because of the way the wrist joints are now. They are going to move differently. Your trail arm is going to move differently at the top of your swing. So once we have step 1, we are now going to work step 2. Now, you'll notice something or you'll feel something. And when I talk about feel with players, it's honestly not fair because what I feel can be very, very different than what you feel. But I want you to be able to feel something when that wrist angle works. Again, the way I may describe the feel that I have could be very different than the feel that you have, but you're probably going to have a feel and it's probably going to be a little bit different or a lot different than you're used to. So again, step 1, step 2, I am working my trail hand. So we have palm down. Now I'm working into extension at this point. This would be flexion. This is extension at that point. So I'm working into extension as I am rotating. You will notice when you get to the top, your trail arm will naturally work down. And you'll see Jack's trail arm right now in comparison working down. Your palm will be more to the sky at that point. And do you know where the club will start to go? The club's gonna start to go more this way at the top because of the structure you've created. So if you deal with long swings at the top, this is magical for a lot of players when they start to do this. They go, oh man, that club is now way over there. If you're getting anything out of this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are interested in working with me in any type of remote programs, email me, tj@tjvalentinegolf, and I'll get you set up. So once I go step 1, step 2, I am now in a position where this club is going to fall more on my trail arm as the club comes back. And I'm gonna pop up some before and after ball flight and impact data that Jack had. And you'll be able to see a major difference in how he delivered the golf club. Now, we have a lot of things to work on. This isn't just a one size fits all for him. You're good, you're done, go work on this, you're gonna hit it like a tour player. There's other things, because remember, when you change one thing or two things, the body starts to move in different ways. It starts to react. And in most cases, for the better, it starts to self-organize itself better. For example, when he was open face on the way back, across the line, and then over the top, do you know where all his weight went? All his weight went towards his toes. Once he got into the better step 1, step 2, transition position, he wasn't on his toes anymore. So what happened? He actually was able to stay in the shot longer. He was able to use the ground better. He was able to produce a much, much more efficient pressure shift overall. We definitely have to work on that. That is something we're going to continue to work on. But all of that stuff started happening more naturally because his body, his brain, everything started to self-organize around these better positions. And that will happen to you as well. And everybody's a little bit different. And everybody's going to have some degrees of, well, you're going to have to work on this now and work on that now and work on this now. But the big thing is, once you correct and understand first and then correct the dynamic club face, your body will move different. The sequence, the kinematic sequence will start to work in your favor more naturally at that point, as opposed to you trying to fix all of these things. And at the end of the day, you're gonna go from swinging like this to swinging like this, like Jack did. Work on this at home. Check that club face. If you're coming over the top, if you're slicing the ball due to the club face, this will get you on the right track. Let me know if you do slice the golf ball. Let me know if you do come over the top, and we'll see if this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.